So I never expected to make a video like this, but I do feel as though it's my responsibility as a coach and a fitness professional to do what I can to help you get through this trying time. And nobody could have predicted coronavirus, COVID-19 shutting down the world, but here we are, and it's during times like these, while we can't fully control what happens next, we can control our mindset, our health, and our fitness. It's important that we take care of ourselves and our loved ones now more than ever, and I'm going to do my best to provide you all with the tools, education, and support that you need at this time. And I've been blown away by the amount of people coming together in an effort to support one another, and the number of people sharing workouts and free valuable resources is amazing and inspiring to watch, and I have something to share with you all as well. So this video is not only to share a resource page with you all and some free at-home workouts, which you'll find linked in the description, but it will act as a reference as I'm going to demonstrate a bunch of the exercises that you can do at home with little to no equipment. What I want you to do real quick is just pause this video, use that first link in the description box below so you can check out the article that I wrote, which covers how to stay on track and optimize your training, nutrition, and lifestyle. And there will be a link in there to download this training program so you can follow along with this video. So go ahead real quick, pause the video, and I'll be waiting right here when you get back. Now that you read the article and have the workout program, hopefully it worked for you. If it didn't, you can email me. I'll have my email in the description box below. But I'm just gonna do a quick screen recording of how to use the template. There are gonna be some drop-down menus and whatnot, and then we're gonna jump right into the exercise demo videos. And I'm going to have everything timestamped in the description box for you to make this as easy as possible, so you don't have to go searching YouTube for random videos. Everything will be right here, so you guys have exactly what you need to get started today. So we're gonna run through this real quick. When you open up your training programs, I want you to look all the way down at the bottom, and you're gonna see a few different tabs. You're gonna see a template for training the full body, training upper lower push-pull legs, and also you will see a blank template that I left open for you to completely customize with whatever you want. So if there's an exercise programmed in here that you don't like or don't want to do, this template is perfect for you. So how do we use this template? At the top, I have a sample training schedule depending on what the split is. You don't have to follow this. I need you guys to all customize this to your own personal schedules and preferences. Here is your little how-to section, so we don't have to go over that. Essentially, it's just talking about how to run through the program, and then we get into the body of the program. So real quick, when we look over here, we have the movement pattern. So we have the squat movement. When you go over here, it's going to say choose your exercise from the drop down. When you click that cell, you'll see a little arrow. You click it, and those will be the exercises that are related to that squat movement. Same thing would be if you have a horizontal pull. Click here from the drop down. These are your horizontal pulling movements. So go ahead and choose whatever you want to choose to build your own program. And then in here, you're going to enter the weight, sets, and reps that you used. So for instance, let's say you were doing the backpack squat and you used 25 pounds and you did that for 4 sets and you hit 20 reps. However you want to fill this out, you're free to do so. And then the notes section could be something like, I used a bucket instead of a backpack. Whatever you want to write in there, just so you remember what you did for your workout. So that is how each template is going to work. They all work exactly the same. At the bottom, you're going to see RIR scale based on reps in reserve. So this is going to be a chart of how your intensity is going to be gauged. Again, that is explained up here at the top. And the last thing is just a section that says personal notes. I want you guys to use that area to write in anything you want about your own personal workouts. So that is the training template. If there is an exercise that you didn't see performed well in the video that I provided for you, please feel free to just search the exercise on YouTube. I'm sure you will find something on there. And I also have all of the videos and exercises linked in the YouTube video description box with a timestamp for every single one. So you have everything you guys need to get started today.
All right, pal, come on, we gotta get filming, we gotta get this out.
Oh, I didn't see that. So you guys should have your downloadable training program now. If you want to open that up along with this video, that's fine. If not, you want to wait till after, that's cool too. We're going to run through everything in order, starting with legs. So the exercises that we can do for legs, and we're going to start with the squat pattern. All you need right now to get the most out of this is some household items. I have a backpack right now filled with some stuff. Guys, don't overthink this. I have a protein jug in here. I have a glass Pyrex bowl. Be careful with the glass, but if you want to go outside and get some rocks or sand or a 10-pound bag of rice, anything you could think of that has weight, your body does not understand what you're holding. It doesn't know if this is a dumbbell, kettlebell, or a backpack. It understands that there is tension and resistance, and that's all we need. First exercise is a simple, basic bodyweight squat. This is going to be easy for a lot of you, so to make it more challenging, do not rest at the top, keep tension, and just pulse the squat like this. We also got little Gigi in her Adidas tracksuit, ready to kill this workout with us. So next up we have a backpack squat. load the backpack with some weight, put it on. You can do this back loaded or front loaded like Brittany's doing right here. And you're doing the same exact thing you just did, except now we have some weight on. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna squat right here. Remember, you can add weight to this, you can add weight to that, or you can do a body weight like we just showed. Next up, we have a goblet squat. This is very similar to what Brittany just showed with a front loaded squat like this. So you can use the same backpack and just do it like this without actually latching the straps on. If you have a case of water at home or a heavy bag of rice or something, that's perfect. So again, goblet squat, we're holding the weight right here in front of us up against our chest. And we're just going down and doing the same exact motion right here. Now, if you do want to make this a little more challenging and actually focus more on the quads, we can elevate our heels to make it a more quad-focused goblet squat, and I'll show you how you can do that. I know a lot of you have textbooks laying around at home that you no longer use anymore. This is a good textbook. This is a biomechanical basis of human movement, but we need to elevate our heels. So we're just gonna throw that on the ground. That's gonna give us a little bit of elevation. We're gonna step on the edge of it like this. Use any object in your house to get your heels elevated about 1 to 2 inches. Here we go, G. And we're gonna squat. This will actually allow for a more upright torso, so I can stand more upright. A little bit more knee travel, but again, more quad. Next, we have the Sissy Squat. I know the name sounds funny. Sissy Squats are extremely hard. They will destroy your quads in a good way. If you have bad knees, don't do this. So you can do an assisted Sissy Squat if you have someone with you, or you can hold on to something, or you can do it unassisted, much more challenging. Essentially what we're doing is we're really allowing our knees to come forward. We're getting a lot of tension on our quads right here and coming back up. Like I said, you could do it with an object that you can hold on to like this, making it much easier. Again, loading up those quads, come back up just like that, or you can go ahead and hold on if you need to. I got you. Just like that. And the last one we're gonna talk about is a sumo squat. Now this will be a little more challenging if you don't have a heavy enough object. Again, a case of water to something works fine, but we wanna be able to hold something and just squat with it in between our legs so the weight is right under our center of gravity. So it might be challenging, like if you were to use a backpack, it's gonna hit the floor a lot quicker than you want it to. So in that sense, you could take 2 chairs, just be safe, so you can elevate your feet so you're up in the air, and that will give you a much greater range of motion to go down and come back up. So that's another great option as well, similar to like a belt squat. So that is going to be the bilateral or 2-leg squat patterns. Now we're gonna move into some unilateral work. This is what a lot of you will probably need. It's a lot more challenging, but that's exactly what we're looking for right here since we have limited equipment and weight. The Bulgarian split squat. Even without weight, this is a very challenging movement. It's gonna test your balance and it's going to be difficult. So Brittany's gonna demonstrate. It's best done on a couch or a chair, somewhere where you can put your foot up comfortably. And all she's going to do is drop this knee to the floor. A little bit of knee travel here is perfectly fine. And she's working on her balance, making sure her core stays tight. If she wanted to add weight to this, we can go ahead and have her hold that. 2 of them would be good to help with the balance. You can do it that way, or you can go ahead and hold it to your side. And you can do a bunch of reps of those, and then you're gonna switch legs. If the regular Bulgarian split squat is a little too challenging for you, do it assisted. Go ahead and hold on to something right here. And this way you don't have to worry about the balance component, and you can really get a ton of reps in this way. Another way to make any of these movements more challenging, incorporate pauses and very slow negatives. So we can go ahead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, back up. Here we're doing a reverse lunge. You can also do a reverse into a forward lunge type superset to make it more difficult. So Brittany's gonna go ahead and show just a traditional reverse lunge. So go ahead, step back, lunge, step back, lunge. Now to add a little bit of
dimension,
challenging dimension, we're gonna go back and then we're gonna go forward. So go ahead, step back, and same leg, we're gonna step forward. And keep doing that as a circuit like that with no rest. You can even put the weight overhead if you wanted to. See, it's not that easy. Just like that, perfect. Step ups are one where you don't need any weight. I would just be careful on the platform you're stepping up on. So if it's gonna be a chair and it could wobble, have someone hold it if you have someone there with you. If not, you might be better off with something like a little ottoman, a box,
even
a step.
stairs.
Go outside, find something, any kind of ledge. So go ahead, we're just gonna do step ups. So we're gonna go ahead, step up, drive through the heel of this foot.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, I got you. And straight up, back down, straight up. So she's not using momentum, she's really using this heel to drive up to really activate those glutes in the quad. This is gonna be a full leg workout right here. Do a bunch of reps, switch legs, that's the step up. This actually, I'm out of breath already. Maybe it's just the talking, I'm gonna blame it on the talking. Next up is very challenging. This is going to be the pistol squat. I'm not gonna demonstrate it because I can't do it unassisted. So this is for those of you who are, I'm gonna challenge a lot of you guys. I wanna see who can actually do this. So if you do this, post it on your Instagram story and tag me or tag Brittany. I'll have our handles in the description. So a pistol squat is essentially a one-legged squat, which requires a ton of strength and balance. So you think you got it?
I can do I can do a couple.
Even if you do one, that's fine. It's been a while.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's extremely hard. So that's another one where you could, technically, I won't even be able to do it.
No.
Yeah, so that's a bunch of unilateral leg stuff you could do. Now we're moving on to try and target the hamstrings. First exercise will be a Romanian deadlift. Now you obviously can't do this with no weight. You can if you want to just really practice the hip hinge movement, but if you want to load it a little bit, we're going to show you a version with some weight and also with a band. So I just found this today. I didn't even know it was in the house. If you have a broom, if you have a broomstick, whatever, this is perfect. And what we're going to do is take a basket or something like this. Guys, you gotta get creative. Again, you can use a backpack if you don't have a broom and a basket. And you can load this up with weight. And then, I'll let Brittany demonstrate. So stand sideways so you can see the hip hinge. Perfect. And you're going to have to go higher rep to make this more challenging. Unless, of course, like I said, you can find bricks outside and really load this up. That feels pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Not bad. If you have a band, we could do a B stance Romanian deadlift. So we're gonna have 1 foot in front, 1 foot back, kind of like a kickstand. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have to get a lot of tension. If I just grab up here, I'm not gonna be able to stretch enough to get a full stretch in my hamstring. So we're gonna grab lower on the band to create more tension. We're gonna stand up. This foot is just helping with balance. And then we're gonna go ahead, sit back. I can feel a big stretch in my hamstring right now. And then come back up. So the Romanian deadlift we just did is going to train the hamstrings through hip extension, so getting that big stretch. Now we also want to train knee flexion, so similar to a leg curl. How do we do that? A band is going to help. So what we'll do is we're going to anchor it around the couch, just like this. And then Britt's going to demonstrate it. So she's going to lay down in a prone position, similar as you would on a lying leg curl. We're going to anchor right around her ankles right there, and she's just going to go ahead and curl just like that. And you can control how much resistance there is by how far away from the couch you are. If you have a very light band and it's too easy, we're gonna go ahead right here and we're gonna go single leg.
Oh.
Actually feels pretty good, right?
Yeah. It's better when you have a puppy like
It works. We're on the floor now and we're doing gliding or sliding leg curls. These are very challenging, so you don't need additional weight. This is just body weight. What we have are just 2 washcloths under Brittany's feet. You can grab a towel, you can grab a t-shirt. If you have a carpet, you can use furniture movers or coasters. Anything to get those feet to glide. Again, this is a very hard movement, so we're gonna get Brittany to come up into a bridge right here, squeezing those glutes, maintaining this elevation right here. She's gonna drive her legs out without dropping over here, and then curl back in. Pain face. This is really hard. Go ahead, give me another one. Good, we don't want those hips to drop. It's gonna light up these hamstrings. One more. Nice. If you are advanced and this is too easy for you, go ahead and try it with one leg and see how that goes. I'm sweating bullets. The last hamstring movement, the most challenging one, is going to be the Nordic hamstring curl. So this is an eccentric heavy movement. You'll probably need to do it assisted or have someone help you, or use your own assistance by pushing off of something. We'll demonstrate how you do that. So Brittany's feet are anchored under the couch right now, and all she's gonna do, we're gonna do this assisted. So I'm gonna hold her hands like this. I'm gonna let her come down nice and slow. Big stretch in the hamstrings. And then I'm gonna help her back up. So this is, again, a very eccentric focus, or we're just focusing on the negative portion of the movement. Down, 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 down. Back up. Now, if you are strong enough and you don't need someone's assistance, you can go ahead and lower yourself. Getting back up is gonna be challenging. So what you can do is you can push off the floor and help yourself back up, or you can grab some kind of broomstick and let that assist you. But
these are hard, especially after doing the other stuff.
yeah. So with your body weight, you can get a good workout. So that's gonna close it out for hamstrings. Now we're moving on to the glute portion of this. First thing we're going to do is a glute bridge. moving into a hip thrust and a single leg hip thrust. Now the difference between a glute bridge and a hip thrust is the glute bridge is actually going to start on the floor with the shoulders on the ground, whereas a hip thrust, your shoulders will be elevated, and we'll show you that. So this is a glute bridge. All Brittany's doing is driving through her heels, lifting her glutes up, trying to posteriorly tilt her pelvis a little bit to really get those glutes firing. So we don't want an arch in this lower back. We want to bring those hips forward. We want to keep a tight core. Go ahead, drive up, hold, squeeze the glutes, and then back down. To make this more challenging, we can go ahead and lift one leg up, whatever leg you want, and do it single leg. Drive up, squeeze, hold, and back down. So that's a single leg hip thrust, a little bit more challenging. Now we're gonna, glute bridge, I'm sorry. Now we're gonna move into the hip thrust. So the hip thrust, like I said, similar to the glute bridge, but we have Brittany's shoulders and scapula elevated on the couch right here. So this is gonna be a greater range of motion. So we want the feet out right here in front of us. At the top, we're looking for a vertical shin. So go ahead, right up. See, we have a perfect right angle right here. Brittany's thinking about, again, that posterior tilt on her pelvis to get those glutes firing. We wanna keep those ribs and core down and engaged, chin tucked, and this is gonna give you a much greater range of motion. If you wanna add weight, you can go ahead and add weight like this, or the case of water, or the backpack, anything you wanna do. If you wanna make it harder, go ahead and lift one leg up and do a single leg hip thrust. A lot more challenging. And if you want to do single leg, but this is too hard, we can do the B stance single leg hip thrust. So this is going to act as a kickstand, and we're just going to use this foot to lift up, but that one's going to stay on the ground. Plenty of alternatives to all these exercises. If you do have a resistance band like this will make your leg exercises more challenging. So we can show you how you can do a banded hip abduction, and you can combine that with a hip thrust as a superset to really fire those glutes up. So we're going to go ahead, put these right around here. That you can do, why don't we sit on the couch real quick and we'll just show a very basic hip abduction, like the good girl, bad girl machine in the gym. These are the bad girls. So all Brittany's gonna do, you can put your heels so it's a little bit easier like this, so like that. And all we're doing, just like that, and that's gonna hit right here, the glute medius. Now we can do the hip thrust that she was just doing, so go back and your shoulders elevated on there. So to make this really hard, we're gonna do, we'll just do 5, let's say you were doing 10. 10 hip thrusts right here. When you finish 10, you pause at the top and you do banded abduction. So go ahead, just like that. It will be hard as the reps start to get a lot higher. Another great glute movement that you can do right here on the ground is frog pumps. So Brittany's gonna touch her heels or her feet together, just like that. I don't look too good in this position, so we're gonna demonstrate this. And it's really similar to a lot of the stuff that we've just been doing. All Brittany's thinking about doing is driving up with the glutes, just like that. Her chin is gonna be tucked. Some people are more comfortable with their head elevated and having a pillow or something lifting their neck up like that. But this, challenge yourself. Try and do 50 reps at the end of your leg workout and see how that feels. If you have the space in your house for this next movement, do it inside. If not, get your ass outside. If it's cold where you are, put a jacket on. We're gonna do some walking lunges. So Brittany's just gonna come, this is body weight. Remember, you can always add weight. Throw a backpack on, hold some stuff in your hands, and walking lunges. We're gonna go higher rep here because it's easy without body weight. So you can go back and forth in your living room, or like I said, take it outside. Last movement we're talking about for the glutes is going to be a cable or banded pull through. You can anchor this to a door if you have a door anchor for it, or we can do like we did with the hamstring curl, anchor it to the couch right here. And Brittany's gonna grab this,
Sit on it.
come forward a little bit. And just like you would on a cable stack, we're gonna do a banded pull through, squeeze the glutes at the top, get a nice stretch on the way down. Works.
That feels really good.
Yeah. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
All right, so legs are done. We're gonna move into back. We're gonna show some exercise with resistance bands. If you don't have one, that's okay. We're gonna show some exercises with household items, but not all resistance bands are going to have the door anchor. So I'm gonna show you how to make one. Now you could potentially just anchor it on the door handle. If something breaks in your house, it's not my fault. So we don't wanna worry about that. So we're gonna take a sock, any kind of long sock like this, and we're gonna tie a knot on the bottom of it, like that, and on the top of it, like this, and this is going to act as our door anchor. Come on. So like that, we have a knot on both sides. We are going to put it in the middle of the band, and then these two knots are going to get caught in the door. Wait for the click, we're secure. So now, we have our bands attached to the door. So for back, we're starting with vertical pulling movements. If you can, I would highly recommend to get the most out of this training program, invest, just go on Amazon and pick up a cheap set of bands and something like this, an over the door pull-up bar. It just hangs on the molding. This will challenge you a lot more. You can do pull-ups and chin-ups. But if you don't have a pull-up bar, what we can do in order to mimic a lat pull-down or a chin-up or a pull-up is we're going to do a banded pull-down like this. And in order to hit the lats, we want to line up the resistance with our lats. So we're actually going to hinge forward like this, and we're going to pull straight down like this. So we're pulling directly in line with our lats, just like that. To add more resistance, just step back further, and then go. Another thing you can do to target those lats is you can grab the handles like this, come down on one knee and do a lat pull in like this, crunch to the side slightly, laterally flex just like that, and that's gonna hit those lat muscles as well. Now we're gonna go into some horizontal row type movements. So again, if we wanna hit those lats, we can do a low row. You can use the resistance band with the handles, but just so I don't have to take it off the door, we're gonna use this one that was already anchored to the couch. So, come over here real quick. So low row, what we're trying to do is we are keeping those elbows tucked into the side, and we're pulling, we're thinking down with our lats, pulling in and squeezing and holding. So again, this is trying to target the lats. If we want to work more of the upper back or the mid back, we're going to go ahead and flare those elbows out, pull back, retract that scapula and squeeze up here. So you can target the lats and you can target the upper back and mid back depending on how you pull and where you pull. All right, while we're down here, we're going to do a banded pullover. So we're going to go ahead, grab the band just like this, and using our lats, we're pulling just like this, tension the whole time. And for something like this, you're gonna wanna really control that range of motion. Squeeze right here, and back. The reason I actually like this better than a dumbbell is because with a dumbbell, once you get to here, the resistance is coming straight down and not pulling you back. So the band, you have to fight that tension that's pulling you back, and this will work your lats. Suitcase row or backpack. Suitcase might be a little bit better because you'll have that top handle and you can load a suitcase up with probably 100 pounds worth of the clothes that you don't wear. So that would be a good option as well. But you wanna go a little bit heavier on this, fill up the backpack. I'm just gonna lean over right here, and just like you would a regular dumbbell row, like that, pull back into the hip with the elbow, tuck in, that's gonna be more lat. If you wanna hit rear delts, go ahead and just do this, and pull like this. So lat, rear delt, upper back. Another option for a barbell row would be like we showed before. So just like this, you can do it from a dead stop from the ground. I'm just gonna go right here. The inverted row, the inverted table row. If you live at home and your table breaks because of this, it's not my fault. But what we're doing here is we're just gonna hold on to this table right here, get our feet under us, pull up, squeeze, hold. If you want to make it more challenging, go ahead and elevate your feet on the chair. Yeah, that's the inverted row. Those are your back workouts. Now we're moving on to push. So we're going to show some horizontal push movements. This is when you can really take advantage of the push-up. One of the most underrated exercises. I know people think they can knock out 100 easy. If you do these right and you really focus on them, they can be challenging. I'm gonna show you ways to make them harder and to regress them if you can't do a regular push-up. So we'll start with the regular push-up. Want to demonstrate that?
Sure.
And that's a push-up. Awesome. So do a lot of those the right way. Now, if you're not able to do a push-up, completely fine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna elevate your hands. I know a lot of people like to do push-ups like this from their knees. I don't really like that because it doesn't really mimic the actual movement. So what we can do is just like this. We can do push-ups up here, which is gonna be much easier. As that gets easier for you, lower the height of where you're holding yourself up, so we can go down here. As that gets easier, we can come to the floor. As that gets easier, we can play around with our hand width. So we can go wide, we can go close, or we can go extended range with slow eccentrics and pauses. Those are gonna be the most challenging, so protein jugs. Anything to elevate your hands up in the air, just like this. So now we have more range of motion. I can get down much lower, pause, come back up, down slow, pause, come back up. Too easy for you? Go ahead and do it. Decline, elevate your feet. I'm gonna crack these protein jugs. You get the point, but I'm about to break this. So push-ups can be hard if you do them right. You can also do them weighted by putting a weighted backpack on. Yeah, right here.
Or do it
right here.
Do it with me on your back.
Okay. You holding on?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, my hands are slipping.
He's so sweaty.
I am dripping sweat. Hey, G! What up? Banded chest press. I'm just gonna go ahead, wrap this around our back, come down, and just like you would regular chest press, just squeeze. When it comes to vertical pressing, so hitting the shoulders with an overhead type movement, most of us won't have enough weight at home, so this probably won't do it for us. So I'd rather you focus on things like lots of side laterals, upright rows, front raises. If you have a band, you can do a band overhead press. So what you're gonna do is step on the middle of it, just like this, and press up. You can actually create a decent amount of tension with this depending on the band that you have. Or you could go single arm, like that. The other vertical movement you could do for your shoulders, very challenging, would be a handstand wall push-up. I'm not even gonna try that right now. So if you wanna do that, kick your feet up on the wall and do a handstand push-up, try it out. We don't wanna forget about the chest fly variations. We still wanna hit those pecs with horizontal adduction of the arm. So think like a cable fly or a pec deck. We can do that with bands. If you have an object at your house, it might not be that great just because your range of motion will be limited and you won't be able to get a really big stretch. If you have a bench or something like that at home to where you get more of a stretch, it might feel good, but you're gonna lose tension once you get to here. So that's why we're going to use the band, just like we were doing with the presses. We can go ahead and set up for a fly. And what I actually like more than that would be a single arm band chest fly. I'm gonna show you how you can set that up. So with the banded chest fly, you can hit the pecs from different angles. I had the band over the door before, so you could do a high to low cable chest fly like that, or you can go ahead, anchor it on the couch just like this, stand sideways, single arm, and we could do an incline to really hit this upper chest, or we could just come straight across like here, and you can actually get a significant amount of tension and really squeeze those pecs hard with a single arm banded pec fly. So that covers the pecs. Now we're gonna move into some shoulder accessory movements. So we talked about the handstand push-ups, we talked about the shoulder press with the bands or an object you have at your house. Some of the shoulder accessories we can do. A banded upright row. So go ahead and show that, just step on the band, just like that. And you can create more tension by spreading your feet out more and giving yourself a little bit less slack in there. If you don't have a band, again, any household item, you could do a single arm upright row, just like this.
You do it with your dog too.
You do it with your dog. Next we have a lateral raise. Very simple to do with any object you have. You could do a banded.
A can of whatever.
Yeah, a bottle of Grey Goose, whatever. So banded like that, backpack like that, and water bottle like that. Again, you need to go higher rep with this kind of stuff. Front raise, same exact thing. Banded front raise, backpack, water bottle front raise. Now, how can we make this more challenging? With a shoulder complex. So something like 6 weights. Now, I don't have 2 of these. Here, we'll just demonstrate. So dumbbell 6 weights, you could do them out to the side, to the front, up like that, back down, out, and down. So that's one way to do 6 weights. The other way is just out to the side, front, back down, front raise, out to the side, and back down. Get creative with these shoulder accessory movements. Lateral raises, hold one out just like this, and do this arm while the left arm is fatiguing. Then go ahead, drop that arm, and do them like that. Again, get creative, make it hard. And just like we were using before, we could do shoulders with this. This will allow you to use a little bit more weight. We have an upright row right here. We have a front raise right here. That could be a perfect superset for you. Next, we're gonna do some shrugs. You could do them banded, they might feel awkward. So if you wanted to do like single arm right here, you just hold on, go ahead, shrug up, hold. If you have 2 buckets, that would be perfect. So get 2 buckets, fill them. They could be mop buckets, they could be construction buckets. You just hold those at your side, go ahead, shrug up, hold, and back down. So that would be a perfect option for that. To finish off with shoulder accessories, we could do banded face pulls and we could do band pull aparts. So band pull aparts, really simple. All we're doing is just grabbing this right here and we're pulling like that. Scapula protracted, not retracted. We want to hit those rear delts. So just like this, pull apart, make sure you're feeling it in your rear delts, and you might want to go really high rep here. And that should fatigue your rear delts. And then you could do that with a superset of banded face pulls. You could do these kneeling or standing, right here. Pull, elbows high. We're thinking about driving the elbows back and driving the elbows out towards the side, so like this. All right, everyone's favorite part, arms. There are tons of things you could do for arms, so there's no excuse to not come back with 20-inch arms after we can get back into our gym. So we're gonna start out talking about triceps and how to hit them from different angles, using different things from household items to the bands to your own body weight. First move we're gonna do for triceps, skull crushers using the couch or table or any type of surface. We're just gonna hold on right here, get into like a push-up position, and we're gonna come down, bring our head just like this, full stretch in the triceps, and back up. You can also do skull crushers like you would traditionally do in a gym with an object, like your backpack or your broomstick backpack. This might be a little awkward doing this on the couch. We're gonna try it out anyway. So we're gonna come like this, right here, get our upper back stable, let the weight come down, back up. If you don't have a broomstick, you can just do it, you can just do it with the backpack. Back to the band over the door. We're gonna do some overhead tricep extension. So just like you would in the gym on the cables, extend, and then you can go ahead and superset if you want into a tricep press down, just like that. Or you can come like this, like that. Overhead banded tricep extension. Tricep kickbacks. Resistance band if you have one. Just gonna do it like this. Kickback like that. If you don't have one, go ahead, grab that water bottle, backpack, whatever you have, just like that. Brittany's gonna demonstrate couch dips. So all she's doing is on the edge of a couch or on the edge of a chair, feet out just like that, elbows go back. You can make this more challenging by putting weight on your lap or elevating those feet just like that on a chair or something and having her do them that way as well. And you can even add weight to that too. Yeah. Then we have, I didn't show these before, but the skull crushers we did on the door, you can also do them right here, just like that. And you're gonna see in the program, it says loaded stretch under triceps. If you have someone to help you, that would be awesome. If not, you could just use an object to press against in your house. But essentially what we're doing is, I'll have Brittany help me out with it. After I do, just sit up on the couch for a sec. After I do a set of triceps, I'm gonna hold my arms like this. So my tricep is going to be stretched. She's gonna press down on my fist or on my arms.
Right now?
Yeah, right there. And I'm gonna fight that resistance as she's pressing down. And that is an isometric contraction in a loaded position, which will put a lot of tension right here on the triceps. Lastly, for arms, we gotta hit those biceps. So do these however you want. There's no excuse to not train your biceps at home. There are tons of things. So Brittany's gonna show if you have a resistance band, I think you guys get the point. You can do anything with a resistance band curl. If you have the backpack right here, we're gonna curl. We can go ahead, turn this way. We're gonna pronate the hand, and now we're gonna do a reverse curl. We can go neutral, and we could do a hammer curl. So that's all with a backpack. If you need to load up or go heavier, or you wanna use 2 arms, we're going right back to the broomstick or whatever, right here. And we're just doing a normal curl like that. If you wanna get a little bit fancy with it, we're gonna do the Bayesian curl, which is gonna work the bicep in a fully stretched position. Now we don't need a lot of resistance for this. But we have the band set up, arm is behind us, and all we're doing, curling up to here, back down, full stretch, curl, hold, full stretch. And you can do this 2 arms if you want. And to finish off, my least favorite part is abs. Now, I'm not gonna show you every ab exercise there is because there are hundreds you could do with 0 equipment, just your body weight. So you could do your basic crunch, but now do these intentionally. Don't do them like you were doing them when you go to the gym and you're just doing this. I want you to drive your lower back into the ground. So tighten those abs, drive your lower back into the ground, and then slowly crunch up, hold, and come back down. You could do bicycles, just like that. We're bringing our shoulder to our opposite knee, squeeze, hold, crunch. You could do them like that. You can do leg lifts. You can do reverse curls. You could do, I think you guys are getting the point. We can do planks. We can do side planks. So there are tons of exercises you could do for your abs at home. And I think that's gonna wrap up the home workout. I'm out of breath, I'm blaming it on just talking and demonstrating the exercises. We're actually gonna go through this ourselves and do this while we're at home with you all. We're all in this together. This is extremely unfortunate. I don't think anyone has access to a gym unless you have a nice personal home gym, but we have backpacks, we
make do with what we have.
We have this community, we have people on YouTube and Instagram sharing their workouts, and we're all doing the same thing outside or in the comfort of our own home with these household items. So let me know what you think about this. What else was I gonna say?
Stay safe, be careful.
Yes, in the description box, first link in the description box, if you didn't catch it earlier in the video, is going to be a link to my article on how to optimize your training, nutrition, and mindset during this time. I also would really encourage you guys to join my free Facebook group. I'm going to be in there. I will be sharing some workouts. I'll be sharing some food. We're gonna do some cooking. We're just gonna have fun because we are all in this together. I want everyone to get stronger together. And if you are someone who is alone, I want you to feel like you're not alone. So please come join that free Facebook community so we can all get through this together and come out on the other side much stronger.